Hi, I'm Mara Antonoff, and I'm a thoracic surgeon from Houston, Texas. I'm the current president of the Women in Thoracic Surgery, and I'm delighted to be joined here today by Dr. Leah Backus, who's our vice president. We're very much looking forward to the WTS second annual meeting for a variety of reasons, but we want to talk to you about today are all of the social events and networking. Thanks so much for joining me today, Dr. Backus.
Thank you, Dr. Antonoff. It's a pleasure, as always, to get together with you and to talk about this awesome subject.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the meeting. I think it's going to have a lot of opportunities for both informal and structured networking. I think, arranging everything from the poster rounds with coffee to the industry roundtable, speed mentoring, so many opportunities to get to know one another and really connect with other women in thoracic surgery from really all over the globe. Can you tell me a little bit about what you look forward to in terms of some of these networking opportunities?
I would say that the networking opportunities are kind of almost the heart of the meeting, honestly, because I like to coin the term that there's the interstitium of the meeting, which
Yeah.
is all the in-between session, all the informal interactions that you have. It is so uncommon for us to be able to get together and focused places like this and to just, be collegial and fellowship with one another, that these opportunities are really golden. So I'm very much looking forward to the networking. And the other thing that I would just emphasize is the fact that it is all levels. Like, we've sort of designed this meeting so that it's going to tap into interests and intrigue all the way from the trainees up to the most senior seasoned surgeons among us.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I like the terminology you've coined, the interstitium. I think often when we are at thoracic surgical meetings or cardiothoracic surgical meetings, it's common for us women to find each other between the sessions. Even if we don't necessarily have, a lot in common, we kind of seek out any other woman so we can chat with them about some things we may have missed since the last opportunity. And given that this meeting is predominantly women or women supporters, women allies, and so many shared interests, we can use some of those interstitium moments to really find people who have really specific connections in terms of our research interests or our mentoring needs or different areas of collaboration. And it's an opportunity maybe where between the breakout sessions, we may, as thoracic surgeons, get to find some of the cardiac surgeons, or between the sessions that are split up based on level of career, we may get to chat as a mid-career individual with someone who's a trainee. So I think it's at an even higher level of organization, we get to connect with other people who have the shared interests. I would also say, beyond these kind of informal opportunities to catch one another or chat, I think we've got a really great program that includes a lot of social elements. We have the welcome breakfast to kick everyone off. And then, of course, we'll have the full day of sessions on November 5th. And it will end with a gala dinner where we're going to have award presentations. We're going to honor our recognized honorary members. And it's really a celebration of community and highlighting all of the ways that we are connected. I wanted to ask you, we're also looking forward to some wellness events that include some social element and networking. We're going to have a joint fun run with the STSA as well as our own wellness and fitness activities. What do you think about the inclusion of those types of social events in the meeting?
I think that they're pretty critical because, everyone has very slightly different motivations for attending a given meeting, right? For some, it's all about the science. For others, it's an opportune time to meet to talk about potential job prospects or, so it's all over the map in terms of what actually motivates people to pay money, get on an airplane often and
Right.
go leave their practices, leave their training programs, etc. So I think it's important for us to have programming that's going to speak to the various elements amongst us to make sure that everyone's finding value in the meeting.
Yeah, I totally agree. And, we've really tried to take all of the other elements of the meeting that maybe aren't typically super social and tried to create networking opportunities within them. Even, for example, in an attempt to raise some money, which we need to do, we're going to have a silent auction, which is just a fun way for us to interact with each other and get to know each other a little bit better. We know that it's important for all of our members to learn how to interact with our industry supporters and to learn best practices for working with them in a variety of different relationships. We're going to have an industry roundtable, which is also another way to be a little bit more social, interactive. Really, every meal, every break, every session is intentionally designed really to be a networking opportunity. So I think these aren't really just extras, but they're essential spaces for some of the community building and ways that we connect with one another. What are your thoughts and hopes in terms of individuals who may be attending the meeting and are hoping to meet you or excited to learn from the world famous Dr. Backus or would like to be mentored or collaborate with you? Or would you encourage
Know
them to
about that.
approach
I
it?
I certainly wouldn't put that out there as a highlight of the meeting necessarily, but I do think that the meeting basically embodies opportunity. In that, as you've mentioned, in some of the larger meetings that we attend, we're always sort of seeking out one another, for seeking out people with shared interests and that sort of thing. And this offers a very concentrated dose. And it's not just the interactions and the networking amongst one another, but as you'd mentioned, I think that the industry partnerships, and the fact that we're highlighting it within the programming is also a really big one, because you can't do anything in this space without your industry friends. And I think it was just you that and your research team that presented the research that showed sort of the low levels of industry engagement, right, by female surgeons. And like this is a way to get over some of those psychological or physical or both hurdles that may be there that are preventing us from being more engaged. So it
For
creates
sure.
a safe space, which I think is absolutely priceless.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's important that while you may be humble about people coming to meet you, I hope that the message shines through to all of our trainees and all of the individuals who are practicing in environments where they may not encounter a lot of other women or women leaders, and it's that everyone here is ready and ripe for the opportunity to meet one another. I think it's a welcoming environment. Everyone wants to lift others up. And it really speaks to the goals of the WTS. There's no one here who's coming in a silo. Everyone is coming to interact and network with other folks. And it's important for anyone who's thinking of attending to recognize that, yes, the scientific sessions are going to be world class, but the connections that individuals make over coffee or at the gala may be what truly shapes their career. It's not just for fun. And these are ways to really build important mentors, sponsors, support networks, the types of things that keep us going to work day after day, regardless of the highs and the lows and the challenges that we may face. I think these networking components are crucial and they are carried well beyond the meeting, don't you think?
100%. I mean, I was actually just recalling when we were both in Barcelona just a week
Mm.
or two weeks ago. And I mean, at Stanford, we have 11 female faculty, which is like extraordinary by many people's standards, by most people's standards. But there in Barcelona, speaking with another female surgeon, and she said, well, I'm the only one. And it really struck me how fortunate I am that I'm not the only one. And yet I still find tremendous value in engaging and in attending and supporting the women in thoracic surgery in all the ways that I have. But I also recognize how even more important it can be for so many of us who are the only one, to be able to not be the only one and to talk about things that are completely relevant to us, but that may be less popular in other venues. Whether you are only one or one of 10, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a great meeting for you.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I'm really looking forward to seeing you as well as everyone else who's going to come join us at the WTS second annual meeting in November.
Me too.